I'm live. Didn't even realise. Hello and welcome to the F1 Austrian GP2 Styrian Grand Prix, the Steiermark Grand Prix. It's F1 number 2. It's a stream from obviously last week. Last week we had great interaction. We had people in the chat, which was surprising, but thank you very much. I didn't expect it personally, but yeah, thank you very much for joining us last week. But it's a new week. It's a new race, and it's a very different race in terms of last week dry qualifying, dry race. This week, wet qualifying and dry race. So we're just taking the knee here. So we're just waiting to see what happens. Because obviously last week there were a couple of drivers who didn't. It was sort of a hot topic thing. And it'll be interesting to see. We've got a man. I'm going to say it's the harp. Don't know. I'm not a man of instruments. Oh, he's singing as well. It's bold. Oh, it's got to do greetings, mate. Hello, sir, Volley. I'm going to call you Volley because if I say all of that, it's going to get very right. It's a lovely song. It is. It really is. But we'll talk about qualifying. Let me load it up. I don't know if they've actually updated on the F1 side, but there were a penalty for Charles Leclerc, which puts. Sorry, guys, I am completely being distracted by the bellowing voice of this man. It's a lovely voice. If you are watching, you'll hear him. Danny Rick swaying along. He's either warming up or he's singing. He's joining in. Now it's interesting. None of the drivers are actually taking a knee. I don't think because all of them are not there. They've got a helicopter and a car. Is that a car? It's not a car. They're just carrying a flag. I'm guessing that's the state's flag. Is my only guess. But we'll go to qualifying it to load up. I can't remember off the top of my head. So in P1 is Lewis Hamilton sets an incredibly fast lap, and in a wet as well, considering an incredibly fast lap. In second, Max Verstappen, obviously last thing, he didn't have a great race last weekend, so this is sort of his chance to improve. Carlos Sainz in P3, the McLaren, performing well in the wet. He did say in the Sky Sports interview that he's not the quickest on the grid, but he'll try and make the most of the P3. Could maybe get 2 McLaren podiums in a row because that'd be great. Valtteri Bottas in P4. Obviously the winner and the pole sitter last week. Not as an amazing qualifying as thing, but we know he could try push him up. But with Lewis starting in front of him, it's going to be incredible. We're just getting shots of some Red Bull planes flying and said that's a big plane. That's a big plane. Great analysis here. Number 5, P5, Esteban Ocon in the Renault. Esteban qualifying in P14 last week. That's lovely. That's a lovely shot with the 2 Red Bull players just flying over the woods and then the track. Yeah, Esteban Ocon in the Renault, P14 last week, P5 this week. Incredible. In P6, so it won't be Lando Norris because he got a 3 grid penalty in free practice. You're predicting a max win, Volley. Hi, Chris, hope you're all well. Predicting a max win for today and Valtteri get the fastest lap. Ooh, Max has got a great chance. We know he loves this track, we do. And especially at P2. Bottas could get fast. I think it's going to be a Red Bull fastest lap. I don't think last week the Red Bulls really never got going, didn't they? Max ending lap 15, was it? I think I'm pretty confident he was one of the first retirees. And then who's it? Albon running in P3 for a while. So everything happened you all know about. But yeah, it's a great shout. It's a really good shout. So P6 it's Albon, P7 it's Gasly, P8 is Ricciardo. Quite good placements for them 3. I think Albon he bombed his last lap. He spun it out. Didn't really get a great time in. If you do hear me wincing, I've hurt my rib somehow. Because all this peak physical exercise, no. So if you hear me wincing, it's when I breathe in. I'll try not to do it as much. But yeah, Gasly, great in the AlphaTauri. Again, not amazing qualifying last week. Danny Rick, P9, I think he qualified P10 last week, so it's in P8. So he qualified P10 last week. Great improvement from him. Then it's Lando in P9. Obviously, the 3-place penalty really hindered him, so he's got a lot of work to do in terms of actually getting through the pack. I think he can get up to back to 6th, maybe 7th because of Albon and stuff, but it's going to be tough to gain them positions, especially later on. But we know the McLaren was great, so he got the fastest lap last week, so there's a chance. In P10, it's Sebastian Vettel. The Ferraris have been shocking. Has been they haven't been great, really. Um, there's something wrong. Also, we know about the engine stuff, and that's probably a leading factor. But it's meant to when Vettel is P10. Charles Leclerc qualifying P11. Now he did get a 3-place penalty. I think it was for ignoring yellow flags again, but I can't remember. But it does mean George Russell in the Williams is in P11, and genuinely he could have got to Q3. I genuinely feel like he did incredibly. Starting P11, just one off the top 10. This is his chance to show why he deserves that Mercedes seat in the future, maybe 2021, or whenever Valtteri's gone or Lewis is going, because this he proved that he can race in a top tier car. Even because look, he's qualified in a Williams. I think that's what you've got to give him there. So that would make Lance Stroll in P12 in the race point. Race point having a great showing considering last week, and then Kvyat in 13th. The other AlphaTauri, quite a big gap between both of them. Then it'd be Charles in P14. Then it's K-Mag in P15, the Haas. Then Raikkonen, Perez, Latifi, Giovinazzi, and Grosjean. Grosjean not even starting the lap. He said it was a water cooling issue. I think. So yeah, he's far out. Nicholas Latifi again, unfortunately, it looked like he was going to set a decent lap to go through to Q2. But yellow flags came out. Red flags came out. I can't remember who spun off. But yeah, red flags came out. Hamilton Verstappen, very interesting start because they're incredible drivers. P1 and this is, this is perfect opportunity for Sainz, Bottas, and even Esteban Ocon. If them two are going like at each other, we know Sainz is a very sort of intricate driver, and he's not afraid. I think I won't be surprised if we see a Renault in this P3 and McLaren in P2 and maybe Max. We know Max, as credible he is, he sometimes just gets an absolutely shocking start, which I just don't understand. Max had a gearbox and anti-stall issue because he was just trundling on, trying to restart, and eventually retired. Rip Ferrari till next season. I know. Poor Carlos Sainz. He signs for Ferrari, and then Ferrari have had two shocking starts. Poor Carlos. And it's only saying that Latifi nearly got a point before Russell on his debut. It's like Kubica last year. Was it Hockenheim? Kubica got 1 point because Russell crashed out. And it's like, but Russell was consistently better driver. He out-qualified him. And Latifi, I don't think could have done it. Latifi, all he needed was just some more DNFs because he was nowhere near the pace. But there's a chance. I think there's a very big chance for Russell to get a point, really, because sitting in P11, if a couple of things go his way, a couple of the top guys go up, and he can just sit in 8th and just hope that Williams' car can just hold positions, I think it's a great opportunity for George Russell. Last week I had chicken sattés. This week, just some simple grapes. I like to splash out my snacks. So grapes this week. So if you see me munching on anything, it's that. All the drivers just getting in the car. I mean, they're showing Alex Albon. Last week, so fortunate. It was Brazil all over again. I remember when we were watching it, comments immediately. It's Brazil. It's Brazil. It's Brazil. It's like, come on. You couldn't have written it perfectly. You really couldn't. I think Albon has come out and now said it was probably 50-50. Obviously, he said in the team radio, he said, I saw loser and stuff, but I think taking everything is fine. Right, I'm just going to go get a hoodie because I'm a bit nippy. So please don't leave. Please. Oh. All the drivers are lined up now. I think, they've all practically hopped in the car. Are you, John? Ooh. Oh, right, Kvyat there, showing Daniel. I think he's in 15th actually. Maybe he didn't get the spot. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, give you predictions. Who's winning? Verstappen, obviously we got it from Volley earlier. Max win, Valteri fastest lap. It's double. It's a tough race to predict because we didn't really get shown the best of last week. That makes sense, like, because all those DNFs. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if we get any more big DNFs because it's only the second week, and some of these cars probably haven't had a chance to really practice their race pace because they didn't race. Wheels going in. They're showing the audience now. The fans who've climbed up the mountains and they just sat on the hill watching the track. I mean, you've got a great look. I mean, Sky Sports are now just switching over to there. We're getting a Kimi advert of him driving the new Alfa Romeo car. Oh, it's always quiet before the race. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think we'll try to keep doing these as much as possible, but might as well do some self-promotion while I'm here. See you there. Tuesday, the Wrestling Corner. It's me and Simon, where we talk everything wrestling. It's something we're passionate about, and with this channel, right, we'll be honest, channel, we wanted to do different stuff. We didn't want to just be a football channel. We wanted to do watch-alongs, and that's another thing that's a bit different that probably a lot of people don't like, but we like it, so we thought, give it a go. Wednesdays is the Top Corner podcast, all things football, everything. I mean, football seasons are coming to the end now, but we've still got some great matches. We're probably going to take like 3-week hiatus, but then we'll be back for the start of the season consistently as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be in sort of better conditions. We might have our proper mics. We won't be in our bedrooms. That's big fingers crossed. And then on Thursday or Friday, we do have the NFL Corner, which is Kieran and Will's show. Obviously, no NFL games, but they have been doing tier lists. Last week, they did teams. The week before, they did quarterbacks. I don't know what they can do, running back stuff, but there are obviously a lot of players in that position. Because I'll go Verstappen to win the race, Hamilton second, Bottas third. You know what? It's a shout. I think if there's no DNFs or anything, we're going to see a regular grid like your Red Bull, Merc, and not your Ferraris. We know they ain't been good. Mr. Mo there, 51 album to win there, which, you know what? 50 to 1 is not bad odds. Because look where he was last week. He's got a poor qualifying though. You know what? Whack a quid on that. There's that looks lovely. They're showing the Austrian mountains with all the snow on them. Ooh, lovely. Danny Eduardo, what's going on, mate? You didn't? Yes, the whole race. We did it last week. Luckily, it was a great race last week. This week, we're hoping for the same. We had a boring first 15 laps, and then everything started to go to pot. Yeah, Vince Wonder, I think he's just qualifying spot, but if you whack a quid on, that's a chance at 50 quid. We're obviously at Spielberg in Austria. Next week, we're actually getting to a brand new track, so probably different racing. We are in Hungary next week, and I'll be doing live reaction to that. Bar everything's fine. Should be fine. They're just going to run another track. It'll be interesting to see because we saw Danny Rick bomb it, and then the Renault. But then the Renault in free practice, and the Renault actually did a quite decent qualifying. His Renault. So, the thing we saw last week, I think I've mentioned it's going to be interesting. It could either be one of the most entertaining races than last week, or the most boring race because all the cars would be fixed now, so we're going to get no DNFs. But it does mean we'll probably get more action on the track because they'll all be close together. Oh, I mean, the Racing Points have got a task for them today. Stroll and Perez, both qualifying very poorly, but we know they've got good race pace. We know they're strong on the start. Do you think Perez would have got out Q1 if no red flag? No, because he set a lap. He's 2 laps before with nearly 3/10 off the pace. He was really lacking. And genuinely, if anyone out with that red flag, it was Nicholas Latifi. It looked like we were going to set a decent lap. And he was swearing in the final corner, red flag comes up and he has to slow down. Before season started, I expect Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc to regular top 3 in order. Yeah, Ferrari are way out of that. Yeah, Ferrari. Legend, I only have access to a Chinese stream, so that's fine. You've got it, yeah. I mean, you can have the Chinese stream or you can have me. My little whiny high-pitched voice. I take me. As much annoying as it. But if you can speak Chinese, I suppose you've got better. But, yeah. I mean, I'll give you a countdown and stuff of like when laps are changing. So if you want to sync up, you can. So Lando Norris said with the penalty, but look at that. George Russell and Lance Stroll both starting P11, P12. Fair play to Russell, did well. Kvyat 13th, Charles Leclerc in 14th with another penalty. The Ferraris have got a challenge on their hands. K-Mag, Kimi, 15th, 16th. Perez and Latifi in 17th and 18th. And it's Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean to start from the pit lane. Because they did some back firming. Basically, they made some changes to the cars to start in the pit lane. So Grosjean's going to have a tough race if he wants to at least finish top 15. Just for Latifi to show that he's not going to be sat at the back of the track. He can hold off the Haas's and the Alphas as well. Alfa Romeo's eyes, not the Tauris. I mean, it was last season we talked about Pierre Gasly. We didn't, but they talked about Pierre Gasly, and obviously his not shocking move, but him sort of being kicked out of Red Bull, moved back to Toro Rosso. But he performed well in the Toro Rosso, and it's all about familiarity. Like, I'm worried about Carlos Sainz when he goes to Ferrari, because regardless of Ferrari got a great car, he seems very comfortable in that Ferrari car. Thank you, Chris Welch. Day off work, F1 on TV, and you're my phone. Can't go any better, can you? You can't go any better than the Sports Corner watch-alongs that we'll definitely be doing more of, by the way. We will definitely be doing more of. Yeah. So all the cars are going to want, we'll probably get the one about first. Yeah, tyres are coming off. Yeah, Carl Sainz, best chance now to get a podium, really. Like a legitimate one. We sort of know that, not a legitimate one, because it is fair. He raced an incredible race to get fourth and then the penalties. Also, McLaren's love Merc penalties, don't they? In the past 2 seasons. We'll just get Hamilton there, starting and pole. He's the best driver in the world. You can't so go, I will. Hope you're alright, mate. Also, if you can look at F2, did you? If anyone saw, let me know. Mick Schumacher. So Mick Schumacher did not finish the race because a little piece of rubber came off and it flicked his switch that sets off the fire extinguishers. Now, if that's not the most unlucky thing in the world, you've got nothing to come on, then a piece of rubber just flicks it off. We're on the formation lap, by the way. Bottas is probably performing to keep a seat. Yeah. You know what? I'd feel sorry if Bottas lost his Merc seat because he's not been bad. Unfortunately, when you're behind Hamilton and you're sort of not willing to go against your team, you are going to be left in the shadow. It will be interesting to see how they favour. If they, let's say, Bottas gets in second, Hamilton first, and Bottas is hunting down Hamilton, and Hamilton's slowing Bottas down, I wouldn't be surprised if they say Lewis is James, give Valtteri the spot because Valtteri's first. Maybe they'll just want to secure another championship. I know Hamilton is their golden boy; he'll bring in the money. But I mean, they're showing the previous winners: Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, and then Bottas last week. One thing that's interesting is Lewis Hamilton got around 4K likes on his tweet about qualifying. George Russell got 12K. Now, obviously, likes aren't everything because driving's a thing. But considering Lewis is one of the biggest names in motorsport, everyone knows Lewis Hamilton, even if you're not an F1 fan. The same like Kimi and Seb, everyone knows him, maybe Max as well. His numbers, just from probably Twitch streaming, have helped him so much. I mean, there's been so much. I watched What's Good podcast with Minute and Randolph, and then we talk about F1. And they said they weren't interested really in F1, but they wanted to watch it and tune in because of Lando. And I talked about at the end of the stream, Albon, Russell, and Lando probably boosted their stock quite a bit just from streaming. I mean, you've seen it other sports stars. Sergio Aguero, the Manchester City striker, the Argentinian, he was streaming FIFA, GTA, just talking. He's now in, I think, the top 50 of most watched on Twitch. And we're hitting that modern thing. I don't know what Hamilton would have to do. I think he doesn't have to do anything because everyone knows they're all just lining up now for the start of the race. We're probably a minute off. Esteban Ocon, great chance to really prove why he should return to, like, he should have returned to Renault, should have returned to F1. I mean, speaking of returning to F1 and to Renault, Fernando Alonso is coming back. Poor Toto as well. Toto was told he can't wear his face visor, so he's wearing a proper mask. But I know when he was doing his interviews, he had it covering his entire face. Everyone's sick of Hamilton's fault. Everyone in the F1 Facebook groups are bashing him. Really? And it's lights out. I'll reply to your comment. Hamilton gets a great start. Star gets a great start. Sainz gets a great start on Verstappen. Sainz on the outside of Verstappen. Sainz is run wide, but he's still going against each other. Verstappen does get ahead a bit. Hamilton's got a great lead. Verstappen, Sainz, Bottas, Ocon, Albon. Then it's Ricciardo, Gasly. I think Kvyat's had a great start. He has. Kvyat's got hopped into nearly 10th. Lando's gone on the outside of Gasly. He's forced wide. Just looking now. Vettel and Leclerc rear wing of. It's either Leclerc or Vettel, but Ferraris came into contact with each other. Now Renault's and now we're fighting against each other. Lando gets ahead. I think that's Lance Stroll. Also, he's probably gone to the P10 position. I just wanted them to show the Ferraris. We're watching now. Lando Norris on the outside. I think that's Stroll. Then Kimi. Kimi's got a great start. No, it's not Kimi. It's George Russell. Sorry, I wasn't expecting George. George Russell is fighting with Stroll and Norris here. Then it's Kevin Magnussen. But the Ferrari, there is a safety car, and it's Vettel. So Vettel had a broken wing, and we've already got a safety car. We've already got one. They didn't show it. So Vettel said he got damaged, but I'm hoping they show the incident. So you see Vettel coming round, and his rear wing's just not on. Oh, yes, his rear wing is not on. He's coming into the pits. Leclerc's coming into the pits as well. Both Ferraris. I don't know if that's a double retirement or one's doing it. Unfortunately, it's the same situation as Thingy, and I think it's Leclerc just goes into the back of him. I think Leclerc's getting a front wing. Yeah, someone's getting a new front wing. And Ferrari now we're trying to get Vettel's gonna. I think Vettel's DNF in here. They're doing the pit stop further back because he can't actually move forward. I wouldn't be surprised if they retire here. Binotto not looking happy. Yeah, some Ferrari season up. I mean, we saw it last year. Sort of the tensions between them two. Yeah, Vettel's retired. Poor Sebastian Vettel. I mean, it's undeserved. I don't think he did anything wrong. He was just defending the position. Charles goes. Very confident null and void already. Yeah, ignore the season, but yeah. I think they've cleared up the track, which is fine. They're just clearing all the debris up. So Charles Leclerc came in. It's probably the best chance because Charles Leclerc now can just rejoin the pack. He'll come and sit behind Kimi Räikkönen. But the standings after the first lap, we've got a safety car. It's Hamilton, Verstappen, Sainz, Bottas, Albon, Ocon, Ricciardo, Gasly, Norris, Stroll, Russell, Magnussen, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Perez, Latifi, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Vettel, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Leclerc, and then Vettel out. Everyone Hamilton politics. We've read that. Last time Hamilton was challenged was Nico Howard-Rosberg. I'm not a fan of Rosberg's doing that, but it's the way it is. He's been on them. Valtteri has challenged him, but unfortunately, Valtteri is a very good second driver. He should be a first driver. He's incredible. We saw it last week. He drove so consistently, but I mean, we're just watching. So what happens was Leclerc comes on. I think it's turn 2, and he hits the curb. He sort of tries to take the corner. He hits the curb and hits Vettel, and it just lifts him up. Kimi he gets a bunch of debris under him, and he slows down quite a lot. Unfortunately, I think Valtteri will never be a second driver if Hamilton's there. Maybe next year, if Hamilton does want to re-sign, he goes to somewhere else. I doubt it. Promote Bottas for number 1 driver. Bring Russell into Merc, and maybe 2 seasons, a season Bottas runs as the main driver. Russell gets experience in a top-tier car. I mean, we obviously think about things. Leclerc's complain about lifting, which was Vettel's team radio. His team radios with him. I know. He's calmed down a little bit. No, he hasn't. That's a lie. Last year, we had some great ones. I think we'll definitely hear it. You know, on F1 they do. I'll always look at that. You know, on F1 they do the team radio things at the end of the race, like the best ones. Safety car is ending, so we're going to get back to racing. So, yeah, no real changes. Ocon losing the spot. Ricciardo gaining a few. Ricciardo gaining 2, 1. Sainz, Bottas, Albon getting a couple of spots from Ocon. Race controller have noted the incident between Vettel and Leclerc. Maybe see a Leclerc penalty here because I don't know whose fault it was really. I'd say it's Leclerc just because he comes in on him. They've restarted, by the way. They're on the pit straight, so we're not really going to get a battle until they all bunch up. I'm about to say they're all setting the fastest laps, and I realised whoever's at the back is going to set the fastest lap. So does that mean Latifi could have the final lap if no one sets the faster? They will. Lance Stroll's absolutely run wide. And him and Lance and Lando are going one-on-one here. Russell's going on the outside. He will not go on the inside. He's not going to risk it. Norris is ahead of Stroll. Russell now against the has. I feel like that Williams. No, he didn't. Williams didn't slow down. We're all right there. And that's Stroll on the outside of Norris now. And it's I think that's Kevin Magnussen on the outside of Williams. It is. Poor George Russell. George Russell will fight back here. Then we're getting a battle here. Who's that? That's Albon and Ocon. Russell gets past Magnussen. Oh, no. Someone's gone wide. There's another yellow flag. He's in 18th. He's not a yellow flag anymore. It's green flag. But George Russell, man, he goes wide and loses all of his places. Oh, man. We're going to... Oh, they don't show it previously. Just... He keeps the car going. He bumps off the wall and keeps it driving, which is great. They're not showing... It's one thing not a particular fan of the Sky coverage is they don't show anything like... Rambo is not winning this, Kieran, because he's dead. But yeah, there's smoke out one of the Mercs. Obviously, Merc have been told to stay off the curbs. Obviously, after last week, all the issues they had. Perez getting past Kvyat, but George Russell, man, sitting in P11, he were having a great battle with Magnussen. He runs wide. We don't see why. And he's on the gravel. He bounces off and stuff. Leclerc's back in the pit. It's a double Ferrari DNF. If you put a bet on that, probably 20-1. Ferrari DNF. It's poor. Oh, he's just got his bottom is just absolutely ripped up. Don't, Kieran. I know you were going to say something. I had a feeling. They're showing the start here. Carl's got great start. He gets ahead of Verstappen a little bit, then Verstappen takes the inside. Carlos is forced wide. Can't get the speed because he's off the track. Meanwhile, Albon's just sniffing behind Ocon and does get past. Does eventually get past him. We're seeing Carlos start here though. You know what? Verstappen sort of don't force him wide, but Carlos has to go wide. And then Carlos just saying, "We're going to watch Esteban Ocon." That's Daniel Ricciardo going up one place against. I think that's Pierre Gasly. I'm guessing he just goes on the inside, quite simpler. And contact. Just touches Gasly's back wheel. Gasly falls back. Carlos Sainz has been overtaken by Valtteri Bottas. That was very easy. Very easy. That's sketchy. Let's have a look. No really big changes. You've got Norris dropping down 1. You've got Russell dropping down 7. Leclerc 5. Leclerc's going to DNF, I think. Vettel dropping 10, but DNF'd. Grosjean up 4. Latifi up 3. Giovinazzi up 5. Perez up 6. And the rest are all just one places. In like when you get to the top 10, top 12, they're all one places. Ooh. Leclerc's definitely DNF'd as a Kaz. They're all lining up again. We should see. I mean, we need to sort another safety car now to sort of bunch them back up. Race control have no investigation necessary for the incident between Vettel and Leclerc, which is probably better for them. I mean, they're both out. Poor Ferrari. Well, not poor Ferrari, but we're getting a Renault battle here. Oh, Perez runs very wide there. Kvyat does get past Magnussen after getting a decent start. On the outside, it's Ricciardo trying to hunt down Esteban Ocon, his teammate. No, he's not. I mean, we know Ocon and Perez's relationship at Racing Point. Grosjean does gain a place. He gets past Nicholas Latifi. Up 5 from obviously starting in the pit lane. Decent for him, but Ricciardo now hunting down Ocon. It's the race. What they're showing, then you've got Sainz and Albon. Then the two Hamilton's at first lap. Then you've got the two Renaults. I hope they do the trophy ceremony what they did in F2 at Ricciardo team. Ready? He's saying he's got a bit more pace. I think they noted it. But in F2, they delivered the trophies by remote control car. They had like a box, trophy on top, and then a car just drove it to them. They stood off, picked it up. I mean, it said, what happens with Loris? Manchester Downers Friday. What happens, Willis? What do you mean in terms of like the driver market? It's interesting because he's done really everything he needs to do at Merck. Oh, Albon's just got past Sainz again quite easily. I feel like Sainz just is not defending well. Lewis is strange. I mean, I don't see him going Red Bull, fortunately, and I don't see him going Ferrari because I don't see him drop. Obviously, Leclerc one thing, and I don't see Hamilton wanting to drop down to a 4th, 5th team. Unfortunately, I think he'll stay at Merck, and it leaves Bottas open. And where will Bottas go? Where will he go? Williams? Will they drop Latifi? Will he'll go William, Bottas and Russell do a switch? But I don't think he dropped down to 5th. What am I missing? I'm missing something because you just said he dropped down to 5th. Is it first, mate? You're first for me. Unless I've missed something while waffling. He says he's first. He just set a fastest lap. Yeah, Hamilton's first for me, mate. Just looking. I don't know. Either you're really far ahead, and we'll see in a second, or no. Unless I missed it. Unless it was like a timing error, and he dropped down. And then what's happening? Oh, right. We're getting another battle here. It looks like it's Perez or Norris. Perez goes on the outside, can't get it. We'll try again on the inside. Nice, if I were. McLaren's not performing as you thought they would. I mean, in fairness, it's Albon who's overtook, but Norris. I mean, it's a race again. I say it's a racing points, but the racing points have got a great car. It's Mercedes 2.0. Yeah, again, nothing happened now. It's just your regular resets now until we get to probably the pits. See my grapes, it's easier. I'll have a drink as well. As I mean, after 10 laps, we've got Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Albon, Sainz, Ocon, Ricciardo, Gasly, Stroll, Norris, Perez, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi, Raikkonen, and Russell. And then in solid last place, in solid DNF place, it's both Ferraris not having an amazing showing that we know they can. We know they previously can this year. They haven't been the best so far. Latifi gets past Raikkonen. I didn't even know Raikkonen did drop spots. I mean, Raikkonen did get some debris from the Ferrari incident, so possibly that's why he's a bit slower. Russell, 3 seconds off Raikkonen now, so Raikkonen gets past Latifi. Of course, they're not showing it because it's an overtake for the bottom side of the team. We just watch Ricciardo drive. Or Ocon drive, sorry. No, it's Raikkonen. Ricciardo. Oh. I mean, 11 laps in, not much has really happened. You've obviously had the 2 Ferraris DNF. But that is it. Oh. I mean, we'll wait and see. The problem is you're going to get no amazing driving here. You're gonna hope for a driving mistake if you want any of your boys to sort of step up. Who let's have a look. Who won F2 this weekend? So is it Lundegaard? Oh, Lundegaard won the sprint race and Schwartzman won the feature race, I think. Yeah. Have you played? I haven't bought it yet, Chris. I'm gonna get it. I'm just gonna wait until maybe a month and stuff until I get some bit more money, and then I'll probably get it. I don't. Grosjean's got past Magnussen. Fair play to Grosjean. I mean, he's in pits, but he started in the pits. Sorry, but fair play. If you got it yet, Chris, let us know. And anyone else, if you've got F1 2020, let me know. See if it's good. See where your team is if you've made one. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know who I'll choose for my teammate. I think in Zoo one maybe Schumacher, because Schumacher, if I get them. They're just showing a Renault battle here because Ricciardo started to catch up to Ocon. He went on team around and said, "I'm quicker than him," and then they noted it, and then Ricciardo sort of loses a bit of pace, or Ocon speeds up. I mean, this picture has been going viral because Jesus, poor Ferrari. I'm not saying poor Ferrari, but they're there's a severe problem, and what is it? Is it just rustiness? Because I don't think it is. Because they are great F1. They're an F1 like legend. So why can't they be consistent? I don't think it's a driver problem because we've seen these drivers drive really well. Like, what can Ferrari do to stop these from happening? Is it just a simple case of telling you to stop driving against each other? Valtteri Bottas does set the fastest lap now. Takes over from Lewis. Stroll getting a bit of lead from Norris, trying to catch up Gasly. Then Lando being put under pressure by Sergio Perez. Renault's trying to catch up to each other. Oh, not a pretty sight that. What else is there? Russell, who was fighting in P11, P10, P12, and then he runs wide into gravel and just drops into P18. Unfortunately, where the Williams belong currently, not where the driver belongs, William. Yes, because for I'm done Australia's farmer team. I got Jack Aitken. Oh, Jack Aitken's not bad. My name Toyota. Why not? Why not? I don't know. I think I'll do. Like on Motorsport Manager, I called it Enigma Racing just because I like the name. With like a green and blue. Where I can then get past Magnussen. We just hearing from Sebastian Vettel, obviously, when he did retire. Just weren't expecting it. I mean, it's nothing you can predict, really. It's racing. Just it's unfortunate it's both the same team. Ugh. What is your favourite track on an F1 game? Because like some tracks in real life are better than the game. Like for me, Baku. Love Baku on F1. I use a control obviously, but Baku is lovely. Just because I know there's not many overtake spots, so it means qualifying is even better. Like some tracks, your qualifying doesn't really matter because you can like push forward, but with Baku, your qualifying really matters. I thought it was a woman, an Italian woman, I think, interviewing him, but I thought it was thing. Fair play. Singapore's a good. I hate Singapore because I'm not good at the game, and it's what corner is it? You go straight and straight. You got that first swinging. I think it's the third corner where you can cut it to get a quicker time. But if you clip something or if you just don't hit the right angle, you just go straight into the Austria. All the others to add. Austria's a great one because it's no offense, it's simple. And if you've got a decent level car, like I was doing because I've got it from 2019. I was doing a Toro Rosso one, and I got them up to like fourth place, fifth place team. And I qualified P18. I had a shocking. Oh, that's Perez going past Norris, but he locks up and he still makes it. Lando now dropping to P11. Not a great start for McLaren's here. Hit Monaco. You hit Monaco. Monaco in the game's a pain. Just if you're using a controller, trying to turn in and out really tight. At least Baku, you've got a bit of space. Brazil's great. One thing I don't like about Brazil is the overtaking. Just because you've only got the long straight, the first corner really in the game, and then that third corner, and then the other ones, it's very easy to vend your positions. I mean, we're showing Hamilton's got an extremely long lead. Verstappen's 3 seconds behind him. Bottas is 6, and then Albon 18. Canada is nice. That's Brazil sector 3. That's where you go like down the hill, up the hill, and then round? Yeah, yeah. Canada is nice. That's one in real life. It's one track that I really want to go to. It's not like its own type of island in it. I remember there's like a couple of bridges go to it. Like there's a lot of entrances to it. Looks very nice. Belgium, that's Spa. That's one. But hey, actually, no, I like it when it's a dry race. But I played F1 the other day and it was a wet race. And going up the hill, if you just bomb it, you spin out. You basically fucked, to put it politely. I tell you what's going on in the race, but nothing's happening. So we're just gonna have a quick jab at everyone. Yeah, but I really want to go to Canada and Austin, just because it's America and Canada, and it's like, Lance Stroll behind Pierre Gasly now. Going him, Lando dropping far. I mean, he qualified P9, but he's dropped 2 spots for the racing points. And Perez had a great start. What's everyone's opinions on Lance Stroll? Let me know before I say mine. What do you think about him? Like, do you think he deserves his seat in terms of driving? What do you think? Let me know. Because it'll be interesting. Because it's a touchy subject because it's money drivers. But it's not like he's shocking. Spin City in the wet. Yeah, horrible. Wet races are all right if you can drive in the wet. If you're shocking in the wet, it's just not. I think I always just bomb out and then just retire. I'm like, I'm not going to restart. I'm not going to try do a gradual overtake. No, Ricardo is just wheels wheel, but this is Lance Stroll now getting up to Gasly. They're on the sort of like second straight, and Ricardo goes on the outside of Ocon, and Ocon covers the inside, and Ricardo has to back off. If you're Ricardo, you'll be pissed off here because Ricardo's obviously quicker, and Ocon's not giving you anything. Here, Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi's just boring. It's just boring. I think with other tracks, at least there's something nice going on the sides. Abu Dhabi is just nice skies. Showing the Ricardo thing. He goes for the outside, he doesn't get it, but then he just sits behind him. Then Ocon gets away on the straights quick, but Ricardo catches up to him easily. He's on the outside, but then Ocon covers the inside very tight, and then he goes out wide, forcing Daniel Ricciardo to back up. I think Maron Stroll. I think Stroll's underrated. He's not bad, and I can't blame him for using. Yeah, I mean, right. Let's say you were a big F1 fan, and you know you were decent at driving, and your dad has got a bit of money, and he likes driving. You go, Dad, any chance you could sort of help me get my thingy up? What's it called? There's that New Zealand YouTuber who did a great video on him, but like, he's proved that he can race well. He's got a podium in F1, and he hasn't been at a top tier team, like even he's at Racing Point now, but he hasn't had anything there. His qualifying is sometimes very decent. It's Monza that he had a third place qualifying. Like, he's not bad. I think, unfortunately, F1 is hard to get into because it is an expensive sport. You have to start off young, you have to drive your karts, you have to buy the karts, and you have to race at them. Then you've got to actually be good at the sport. When you get good at the sport, you have to keep up the paying, the cost, going to all these drives. When you hit F1, you've hit the peak. It's great. Like, you don't have to worry. Even F2. But when you hit the F1, when you're trying to build your way up, you've got to have money. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers don't have it. Or you have to get good backing. Uber has got great sponsors. Not even the best driver, but like Kvyat, he's a good driver. He is. He's had Red Bull, but if you are in a single like nation driver, so if you are a Kvyat in the grid, you've probably got a better chance of staying in just because you've got a certain market. We know Perez is a great driver, but he's also got that Mexican market. I mean, Ricardo's going back on Ocon, and he does it. He does. And I think Ocon concedes a place there, allowing Ricardo to go away. But Ocon will hunt him down, and I think he'll probably go, I want to go at him now. What's your favourite street track? Baku, for sure. It's fun. It's very fun because you've got the pit straight, basically the super long straight, where if you can catch a tow, if you can get a slipstream and have your DRS, you're guaranteed there. You've got the small corners where it's sort of easy to defend because there's probably room for 1.5 cars. So if you hit a certain spot, you've got it defended well. The one bit I hate is the second not the second to last corner. It's like the final big actual proper turn. Just because if you come into that with some speed, you run off track and then you have to turn on. Hamilton does get the fastest lap. Team radio from Verstappen. Just telling Verstappen that both Mercs are pushing. And Verstappen just said leave him alone. I got on the medium, showing his class speed there again, so I can non-stop. I mean, yeah, he's overtaking him. I didn't realise we're on the mediums. I mean, you lot probably going to film me because I said it last week, I'm not a long time F1 fan. I watched it when I grew up like on Channel 4 and stuff. But I took a break and then it was F1 draft, so I got me back and I've just watched it since there. But yeah, Ricardo, it's a tough subject because he's obviously going to McLaren next year. Do Renault just say, we give everything to Ocon, he needs to learn the most? But then it's obviously you're going to come off as a team who I'm not going to say that, but you're not trying the best really, you're just trying to build. Can you tell us your reaction to Alonso? I'm shocked. I mean, this has been heavily rumoured. He's been linked with McLaren a lot. I'm sorry, we're just watching Lando Norris. He's trying to. He can't catch up to Gasly somewhere. But Alonso, yeah. I think I don't know. If the problem is Renault have got some good academy drivers. I mean, Norris will go on the outside of Gasly, can't get it. But he'll try to get him on the straight. I'll tell about the academy stuff in a second. Lando now just hunting Gasly. Gasly's going to have to fend. Lando goes wide, and he gets past him. So Norris sits in P10. Same place where Ricciardo took the overtake. But yeah, Renault have got a good academy. And when... So they're just showing something about Roman Grosjean. He looks up, and he goes wide. Yeah, we're catching up as well. I think they've got such a... I'm going to say academy again. That you don't need to bring back Alonso. Yeah, you're probably going to get more fans and more viewers because it's Fernando Alonso. Everyone knows him. But is he going to be in the peak driving condition? Probably not. Is he going to be the best driver on the grid? Probably not. Like, I understand why. Because Renault needs something sort of... You're losing Danny Ric, who is a big figure. Ben Leclerc just having a word there. It doesn't seem hostile. It's just going, we don't know what happened. We were just driving. Yeah. I mean, that is my expert lead breeding with them on mass. Danny Ric is in 6th. He just overtook Esteban Ocon. I think he's 2 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. I stopped watching after the bronze season. Draft Survive. Yeah, Draft Survive helped me a lot, and then I watched WTF1. Alex Ravel. I swear that's his name. Is the New Zealand guy? I can find out. Him anyway. Who else? Chain Bear's all right for YouTube content as well. But yeah, and you know, sometimes it helps, like having a break from stuff, because, like with wrestling, I took a good 6-month break because I was getting stale. Because, like with a lot of sports, it's the same thing over and over again. So I just took a break and I came back enjoying it. I know it's not proper sport; it's fake, but it's entertainment. It's like a TV show. Watching something now, Lewis. Does Lewis lock up again on turn 2? He does. Everyone's been locking up on turn 2. Lewis not as bad. He doesn't go as wide. But yeah. I mean, you know what? It's not been as entertaining because we haven't had as many. Well, I'm about to say not as many. Yeah, we did have a big DNF for both Ferraris. But yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, who do you think should have been called up? Like, come to that Renault seat ahead of Alonso? You've obviously got people who have been there before. Hulkenberg, obviously the biggest one. But like, who genuinely do you see getting called up? Do you go for youth and have quite a young driver set up with Ocon, but Ocon being the more sort of tenured because he's been F1 long? Like, if I load up the Renault Driver Academy, if I could spell Renault, that would help. Renault Driver Academy 2020, because I think Jack Aitken was part of that, but he's gone to Williams. Let's looking now. So driver, we've got Max Futrell, Christian Lundegaard, Guanzu, and then Oscar Piastri in Formula 3, and then Charles Collet. But like, you've got Guanzu, Lundegaard, and then Max Futrell. Max Futrell, I don't think would have got it, but it's in Formula 3. But you've got Lundegaard and Zhu there, both who can probably step up. Nick De Vries, but Nick De Vries is very... it looks like Verstappen's coming in. But yeah, Nick De Vries. Verstappen's coming in. Came in with speed as well. We'll just go through the Max. I think Max is the only one. So Max does a pit stop. He's taking... mediums are on. I think maybe McLaren are coming in. I could see one of the McLaren guys standing out. No. Yeah, I think Nick De Vries is stuck with Mercedes, really, because he's in the Formula Mercedes team, innit? Also, Alonso's the right player. He's a Binson at the end of the day, and yeah. I mean, it's the same way a lot of people are brought in. Perez has probably kept his race points in, not because he's a great driver and he's got stuff for them, but he brings so much of that Mexican money that it's very pivotal that he stays there. And it's the same with Alonso. Unfortunately, Verstappen nearly crashes in the pit lane. It's a bold strike for him, I'll be honest. Very bold. But yeah, I mean, you say he's the biggest Spanish driver, unfortunately, for Carlos Sainz. Like currently, Carlos Sainz just isn't as mainstream as Alonso because he hasn't been a main team. But he will be at Ferrari next year, and I wouldn't be surprised if Spanish fans start to like him more just because he's at a bigger team. As much as it is Alonso, like we know Alonso, sometimes the bigger teams mean something more. I mean, Bottas does get into P2 with the Verstappen pit stop. So if you know what, if Bottas gets a quick pit stop here, he may come out above Verstappen. It'll be interesting to see, but that's another Renault coming in. It's Ocon. So Ocon being given sort of not the preferential treatment, but well, I suppose Danny Rick was on the mediums, weren't he? So he can go for longer. Ocon comes in. Oh, oh, never mind. He's not retired. He's not getting a pit stop. He's retired. Esteban Ocon. I'll answer your question in the second fair play. But yeah, Esteban Ocon. We all thought he was coming in. It seemed like he was coming in for a pit, and then you look and realise the guys don't have a tyre out. They don't have a gun out. Oh, and Ocon just retires. That is extremely strange. And what do you think of Lando Norris? He can be the biggest star in F1 soon. Yeah, if Bottas pushes now, he can get ahead of Verstappen. I think Lando, I've talked about it a lot. I'm a big fan of him. He can be the biggest English motorsport star. Once Hamilton retires, he will be. Because he does everything. Yeah, each time. It looked like he was coming in for a pit, and then he just doesn't. Oh. I think Bottas will be coming in for a pit. Hold up. Hamilton's stuck in traffic because of Gasly pitted, and then he'll come against Russell. Yeah, thing is, it's not like there were no smoke, there was no parts flying everywhere. It was generally just an internal issue. I'm guessing it was engine. Did Renault retire last week? They did, didn't they? Did they? Can't remember. Used to be a fan of O'Connor, is that Lando? Yeah, Lando though. He's doing something that F1 drivers haven't done before. He streams, and that could be a big difference maker. Hamilton does come into the pits. And it's on mediums. Sorry if there's always a pause. I'm trying to find out what's going on. Bottas does go ahead of Hamilton. But obviously Bottas will go. You know what? Bottas will be stay ahead of Verstappen here. So if he comes in, we're getting the lovely AWS inside. But yeah, Lando can be the biggest star if he keeps on streaming and building up a fan base. I've seen people that are not F1 fans talk about him. Verstappen saying he doesn't care why they boxed. Oh, he doesn't know why they boxed. Said they were going for the undercut. One thing I do like is Codemasters. Unfortunately for Codemasters, they won't be able to, but they can't add the new track. So we're getting 2 more races. Oh, doesn't that was announced? But yeah, Mugello, and Sochi. No one wants Sochi, but I didn't watch F1 when that track was there, but it looks like a very nice track. Bottas is still going on these soft tyres. He hasn't come in yet. It'll be interesting if Bottas does come in. Also, it'll be interesting. So mediums, how long can they go for? Danny can't come in yet, so 32, 1-stop strategy. I mean, it's not been as pressurous for anyone trying to win this race because that's why Mercedes been so good. Their strategies are great. I mean, you have got a problem because Valteri is very easy to get. Oh yeah, I'll do that. It's fine, but it's annoying. I'll say that because it's when you're trying to bring new fans in. Let's say you get fans watching 4 races, and you see Mercedes 1-2 in every time. Luckily, we didn't have it last week, but you see Mercedes 1-2 every time. It's not as fun. Maybe we're in 29 laps in. It's Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Stroll, Perez, Norris, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi, Russell, Gasly, 3 DNFs, Ocon, Leclerc, and Vettel. So yeah, 2 Ferrari DNFs and 1 Renault. Renault was an internal issue, and Ferraris were No, it was a driver issue. Not a driver issue, but both Ferraris came together and they both had to Leclerc went a couple more laps, but Vettel lost his rear wing and then Leclerc just damage to his underside. So, we've got 41 laps left. We've been going for how long? Race probably 45 minutes, so we've got 45 minutes-ish left of the race. I mean, Hamilton is a lot quicker than Bottas now. We'll be catching him up. I'm sure Bottas will be coming in. I do love that. Tell you what, I do really love the Sky setup of on the right. You've got like on the car, you show the gears he's going through, his throttle, his kph, his stuff like that, and then you just see on the bottom right the timings. It's a nice little detail that looks nice. Okay, Valtteri's not coming in. I bet. Nope, Valtteri's not coming in yet. He's going to go longer. Ooh. It'll be very interesting because Valtteri starts and pitted, but he's going to be losing a lot of time considering Verstappen and Hamilton are both on fresh tyres. I don't know whether make a wait for Hamilton to catch up so then Bottas can come in after and Hamilton's got a bit of a lead. Ooh. Here's Sergio Perez now. He's trying to catch up his teammate Lance Stroll, but does anyone come into the pits? Nope. Some people pitted early then, didn't they? Verstappen, he pitted early. Never mind, Ocon didn't pit. Hamilton. Everyone else is coming in a bit late. Oh, my back. Proper messed it up. Don't know why. I'm lazy as fuck. Hamilton 10 seconds behind Bottas. You know what? Oh, again, the racing points now right next to each other. Stroll does get a bit of a ping off, and Stroll is in front. Norris sitting in 9th, Kvyat 10th, Giovinazzi 11th. So that's your podium, your points places. Ooh. So 2 people coming to pits. It's Ricciardo and it's... Never mind. Nope, that was the retirements. I saw on the map they have at the bottom right. I thought it was like people in the pits. No, there was highlighted out. It was Ocon and Ferraris. It'll be interesting to see who Racing Point are preferring here. Well, no, because none of them are pitting. Stroll versus Perez. We're going to get a Racing Point battle. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Will Stroll be able to defend or will Perez get past to him? Perez will catch up. He goes over the curbs a little bit there, losing 1/10 of a second, but he's catching up. He's 1/10 of a second quicker. Ferrari putting up the boards now, so no one can see in the garage. Magnussen comes into the pits. We're getting a Haas pit stop. Pua, Leclerc, and Vettel, because it's Vettel's last season. I mean, they're re-showing it here. Vettel goes on the inside. Leclerc goes on the inside, but Vettel doesn't really have any room. He has a little bit of room to go to the left, but he doesn't. Wow, Kimi Räikkönen just had to absolutely slow himself down. We'll see. If you're a Ferrari fan, you must thinking this is the worst of the worst for them. As the racing points are still battling. Gasly does get past George Russell as well. I don't know whether Russell pitted. I don't think he did. Stroll has just come past Sainz, but that's because Sainz is pitting. Sainz will come in. He drops down to 8th. There's a problem. Back right. Left rear. Just wouldn't go on, so he's lost a lot of time now. He's coming into a lot of traffic. Both Alphas and Grosjean as well. Poor pit stop there from McLaren. Considering Sainz started in P3 as well. He's sad. So he comes in. All the tyres go on apart from that left rear. So what? I think he thinks he's got it on. He thinks I think one of the guys thinks he locks it on properly, and then one of the other one you haven't. Latifi's pitting now. Perez now hunting Lance Stroll again. I think Stroll's coming in. Yep, Lance Stroll. Maybe not. Yep, Lance Stroll is coming in. I'm guessing to be put on mediums. I doubt he'll go on softs. I mean, 34 laps, 68. Maybe you run the softs to 3 more. But I think they'll go mediums. Well, look, I can't see. Yeah, it's mediums. And that's a pit stop. Valtteri is boxing as well. And that's Bottas is coming in. Valtteri Bottas. So Hamilton 7.6 seconds behind. If you can get a quick, I don't think you'll get another disaster signs. I know. Qualifying in P3 is only just. In fairness, it's F1. It's not just a one man sport. It's a team sport. And Bottas. So Hamilton does get past Bottas, and he sets the fastest lap as well. So Verstappen does get past Bottas, and will Albon? Is that Albon? I don't think it is. I think it's back markers. That's Kevin Magnussen. Or Latifi. It might be in Latifi actually, because Latifi's a lap behind. Albon now behind Bottas, only 3 seconds behind. I don't think Albon's pitted though. So Danny Rick hasn't pitted as well. Perez hasn't pitted. Norris, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen haven't. See you all for F1 next season. Now Hamilton leading. Yeah. Ooh. Stroll wheel to wheel with Grosjean. And then Lance just goes ahead. Is that Carlos Sainz who nearly went into? Unless safety car is... Yeah. You've got to have a safety car right now. Not even right now, maybe. You know what? Benefit for them, everyone. Verstappen catches up to Hamilton. Verstappen and Hamilton crash, causing a safety car. Bottas goes into P1. That's when it's going to be more interesting, because then you could see Albon and Ricciardo on the pits. Hamilton complained about his tyres, saying they feel softer and that they're having a harder time. Albon comes in for the mediums, and he's in and he's out. Perez does go ahead of him, which is, if Perez finishes top 5, top 6, great. That's an incredible pit stop. 2.3 seconds. Which is just incredible if you think about it. That they're having to pull a tyre off, put a tyre on, and release him. Albon got a big chance now. Norris and Perez have not pitted. Or maybe Giovinazzi and Raikkonen have pitted, because they're mediums, and I'm pretty confident Ricciardo's the only one. Stroll gets past Raikkonen, and now he's going to go after Giovinazzi. Yeah, he's going to get past Raikkonen. We'll go after Giovinazzi now. He's in Alfa Romeo sandwich. Giovinazzi covers the inside. Stroll sits behind, goes on the inside. Can't do it and gives up. We'll go for him on the next turn. And he goes for it. No, he don't. And Giovinazzi just peels away. Stroll goes a bit wide. Kimi will try, and now he's just stuck. Who's that? That's Sainz behind Ricciardo now. So again, a good battle here in the 10th position, at least. The thing is, if Hamilton, I know Hamilton, whenever Hamilton complains, he wins. But if he's complaining about his tyres being softer, if his tyres run out quicker, he's going to have to pit big changes. Stroll and Raikkonen move forward. Kvyat pitters. Sainz goes past Kvyat now, so Kvyat was pitting here. Can Grosjean get past him as well? I don't think Grosjean's pitted. Obviously, he was started in the pit lane. He might have been on mediums actually when he started, because he wouldn't need softs if he was racing from the back. Might as well race for longer. Stroll finally gets past Giovinazzi. Now he's behind Albon. He's a bit of away from Albon. Gasly gets past his teammate now. Kvyat was coming out of the pit exit. Gasly gets past him. And it's like Sainz coming up against Raikkonen. Sainz got the outside of Raikkonen. Does he get it? He does. And now he'll hunt down Giovinazzi. So we're actually getting some good driving here from the middle of the pack. Ricciardo now does eventually pit. And Ricciardo goes on softs now. So obviously Ricciardo started on medium. And it'll be interesting where it comes out. If he comes out, so Albon overtakes him. Ricciardo might just get ahead of Stroll here. That's a good pit stop from Ricciardo. Great strategy from Renault. Obviously, you only have to worry about your one driver, but Ricciardo going long over the mediums, now sitting on them softs, coming out ahead of Stroll. Albon is pitted, but you've got Perez and Norris not pitted yet. Maybe you need a penalty. Maybe we talked about, you said, unless safety car this race is done, possibly penalty for Hamilton or Bottas or Verstappen even to get maybe it'll be Albon in P3 maybe. Yeah. Sainz does finally get past Giovinazzi as well. Grosjean does pit, but the Williams and the Haas and Kvyat are all a lap behind. I mean, it's always hard to contest the cars out there because when 5 cars are 1 lap behind, and then there's a 34-second gap from 5th to 1st. Norris not coming in yet, still going, sitting in P4. Starts the next bit, Mercedes Red Bull be above Ferrari still, but no one expects Ferrari to be this bad. I mean, we saw the qualifying first race. Perez will come out behind Stroll, but ahead of Sainz. So, and he's on fresher tyres, but Sainz will go for him now. No, it's a big opportunity. If Sainz goes on the outside, Perez covers the inside and he gets it easily. Hamilton does set a fastest lap. Now, this is when you race bad. When Hamilton set a fastest lap when the cars that's in 8th and 9th are on the second corner. Well, Sainz does get past. Perez will go back at him. He's not going to let him get away that easily. Bottas has just set the fastest lap. Perez on the outside. He goes in. He goes on for him. And he does get in. Sainz will go back again, probably in the next corner. And Perez does pull away for a little bit. But Perez is obviously on the fresher tyres. Norris has pitted. So I expect Albon and Ricciardo to get past him, maybe not Stroll. Albon does get past. Oh, yeah, more of them are going to go past. Norris pits. Softs are off. Mediums are on. Norris comes out P8, P9. Giovinazzi does pit. Raikkonen goes past Norris. Yeah. Somebody says 11 seconds. All right, yeah. Oh, getting quite a boring still race. 30 seconds left. 30 seconds? 30 laps left. I think the biggest battle is going to be P6 to P10. They're just showing Sainz now going past. I think that's Stroll. Gets the passing him well. Stroll goes back at him. Oh, it might be Perez actually. Yeah, Perez. Perez goes on the inside. I forgot Stroll's ahead. Perez goes on the outside and gets past him really well. Good to see the Raz McLaren again. Especially last season. Too shame Norris size will belong to a manager, still getting quality driving. Yeah. Perez is extremely happy with his overtake. Yeah. You are losing Sainz, which is a big shame, but you're gaining a very good driver. You're sort of gaining an equal replacement if they're in the similar cars. Because Ricciardo is great, we know he is. We saw him at Red Bull. I think he's a very unfortunate driver that he was behind Verstappen in like Verstappen's shadow because Verstappen was the wonder kid. But yeah, it's a great signing for McLaren. We talked about Fernando Alonso. I mean, so there's not many seats actually confirmed. So we've got Perez. He signed a 3-year contract, but obviously that can be bought out and stuff. Stroll's not confirmed, but it should be confirmed if Lawrence Stroll possibly want to go back to Aston Martin, so no racing point would be there. Who else is there? So Verstappen, I think, is confirmed. I don't think Merca. I don't think Albon is. Ocon's confirmed. Leclerc and Sainz are confirmed for Ferrari. We're getting the AWS inside. It says 17 laps. Bottas can get on Verstappen. Verstappen sort of had a problem. We're getting a great battle here. Who's that? That's the Alpha against the Haas. That's Giovinazzi against Magnussen. He does get past him. I don't know how Giovinazzi dropped so far down. Wow. But yeah, Verstappen pitted early. And Merck just waited out and waited. Hamilton came in. Then kept on waiting and waiting with Bottas. It's probably they've gone for the 1-2 strategy. Get a good battle here, though, Giovinazzi and Magnussen. Antonio Giovinazzi is a strange driver. Because he's good. But I genuinely don't think he's probably the best there, like in terms of like who could have that seat. But he's quite consistent. Just to live for 10 minutes, what the fuck happens to Bottas? Yeah, so Verstappen obviously pitted first, then Hamilton came in, and Bottas stayed out for another 6 laps. He stayed out a lot longer. Yeah. And so when Bottas came in, Verstappen just zoomed past and got the lead. It was a strange strategy, but it means Bottas have got nearly 8 laps fresher tyres. Toto Wolff there. Not with his visor, unfortunately, but wearing his mask. He's a very calm man, Toto Wolff. Apart from when he's banging the thing. I mean, if you wait for 10 minutes, it's Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas. You'd probably say Albon, Ricciardo, Stroll, Perez, Sainz, Raikkonen, Norris, then Gasly, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi, Russell, with Ocon, Vettel, and Leclerc all DNFing. Apparently, it's 10 laps now, Bottas, considering a lap ago it was 17. AWS insights for you. So 10 laps, apparently. And it's a medium overtake difficulty, whatever that means. Bottas setting the fastest lap, though. It was the first time that Grosjean overtook Magnussen in an early race without crashing. Gunther is the best in here. He's a guy who came over really well in that document. There's some that probably, like Cyril came across a bit boring for Renault. I'm just trying to see if anything's happening, but no. I mean, we talked about needing a safety car in this race. We really need it. Because otherwise it's just going to be Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas there. Even if it's a safety car in like lap 60, because I think we'll know they're going to get ahead, but when they're all so close, it just does lead to more safety cars and safety cars. It's a shame we're not getting as many DNFs. I know you don't want to see it with your drivers, but in terms of actually watching, this is very fun. I'm just scrolling through just to see if there's any little news I've missed from the race. How's Ferrari's season going? And it's just them in the pit. But I'll do a quick advertisement on before 45 laps. And if you haven't heard of us with the Sports Corner, I'm getting very good at this. On Tuesdays, we have the Wrestling Corner, half 11, all things wrestling. On Wednesday, we have the Top Corner podcast where we talk about all things football, European, and all. On Thursday or Friday, we have the NFL Corner, depending on work time. They talk about everything NFL, match reviews, match reports, match previews, tier list, everything, what they fancy. Twitch streams. Josh, who is the host of the Top Corner, and he's like the leader of the Sports Corner. He's the chairman. If you go to that, twitch.tv/the Top Corner, Josh is currently doing his virtual Euro tournament. It's the third place final, third place player final, and the final of the tournament. If you want more updates on when streams are going to happen, or when videos like the live podcasts and stuff, this is what we do. If you go to Twitter at the Top Corner, you will you get that. You can get all the updates there. Thank you very much. What's current top 10 yet to leave the house? It is Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Albon, Ricciardo, Stroll, Perez, Sainz, Norris, Raikkonen. Raikkonen does pit again. Unless Raikkonen never pitted. If he didn't, fair play. Raikkonen does drop down, so now it's Gasly. Perez gets past Stroll. Stroll will go back in. On the outside, they're very close. Stroll does get past. They will go again. And Perez does get the place. Good ball between the racing points here. I think that's a racing point thing that they allow the drivers to race, don't they? Strange camera. Oh, it's Lance's birthday. Happy birthday, Lance. Russell and Latifi sitting in the back there. As unfortunately I have to say, as always, good luck with the channel. As hope it goes well. Okay, thank you. I mean, we want to do, we call the Sports Corner, so we try as many things as possible. We'll see what works. If these work, we'll keep on doing them. If they don't work, we won't. It's fine. It's one of them things. We're only young. We're on. So if you haven't, like and subscribe, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, because there'll be definitely more stuff coming. It's hard, innit? I think everyone that works, I mean, all of us are uni students, so it's easier for us. But like, if you're working, or if you're trying to do stuff at home like this, it's incredibly hard because you don't have the same facilities as we do. Like we're lucky to have a radio studio when we're at uni and stuff. My camera's stopped. Oh no, never mind. It's the Sky Sports camera. Again, not Albon 31 seconds behind Bottas. 31 seconds behind Hamilton, but 26 seconds behind. 24 seconds behind. Sorry. So Perez and Stroll we're having a battle. Perez now going to hunt down Ricardo, I think, in fairness, if you're Ricardo, you'll be happy with the P5. I really do think you will. Russell, Latifi, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Kvyat are your bottom half. Not Puma Gasly, because Gasly had a great qualifying. He just needs to catch up to his teammate. He's not far behind. He's only 7 seconds. But no, Albon is 31.6 behind Bottas. Raikkonen only 4 seconds from Ricciardo, only 4 seconds from Albon, and Perez 1 second behind Ricciardo. Same with Stroll. Right, because Stroll and Perez are around the same next to each other. So one thing I like about Racing Point, they allow the drivers to race against each other. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Ocon and Perez, Baku, and Singapore, where Ocon gets shunned into. I can't remember if that was Perez. So, how many laps we've got? 23 laps. Raikkonen does get past Magnussen, K-Mag. We'll have a bit of a drink. Yeah. And that's Esteban Ocon now going to. He's in his jeans. He's got comfy now. He's gone to the pit wall to Cyril. They just saying and thought. I mean, it's unlucky for Esteban. Qualifies P5. What new leads? One of the leads ones. But yeah, like I think content is just eat harder at home, but it allows us to do different stuff that we wouldn't normally do. Perez has got past Ricciardo. Sorry, I completely missed it. I got distracted. Yeah, Perez has just got past Ricciardo. Quite simply, I didn't even. Ricciardo's going to go for Perez now. But wow, Sergio Perez getting past Ricciardo quite comfortably. I didn't even really notice it until I just saw this, the booming pink car just storming in front. Oh. So Ricciardo just drifts to the side. Like, okay, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, and it didn't pay off. So now Ricciardo's stuck in a Racing Point sandwich and can drop to P7 here. I mean, McLaren not having the best weekend last week, podium for Lando. I think 5th for Sainz. Sainz had a great showing. Sitting in 8th and 9th now, quite off the pace for Stroll. I'm guessing you're going to maybe see a strike. I don't know what you see here. Like we said, we just need a safety car. We had a great start with both the Ferraris getting DQ, then Esteban coming into the pits, but not Pim. I'm just looking. Because, right, so as it stands, Hamilton would be on. Would Hamilton be first? No, Bottas would be first because Bottas had more points. So Bottas 25, then don't know as it stands, but I think as it stands, Bottas will be first. Hamilton will be second. Ooh, would Perez be third? Perez might be third, or it might be Lando because Lando getting that podium. Charles getting anything? Charles be on 25. Not 25, 23, is it? Well, I mean, we'll see it after, but I think Bottas will be first and Hamilton will be second. Unless Bottas obviously drops down to 4th, which I don't see happen. Well, Stroll now going into Ricciardo, but he is slower than Ricciardo. Stroll getting faster sector 1s, but a lot slower sector 2. I mean, it was not a bold strategy, but Ricciardo obviously spent most of the race on mediums. They didn't need to go for long. He went for super long. Stroll, no, doesn't he? He teases off the inside. And then he switches to softs. Gasly's pitted. Again, I'm guessing Gasly's maybe going for fastest lap, possibly. The commentator saying maybe an overheating problem for Renault, obviously. It's what happened to Ocon, we think. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Gasly's pitted twice. Latifi and Russell go past him. Again, I mean, you look at the qualifying and it was Gasly who finished P7 and now he's sitting in last. Both the out no, I thought Neil said both the Haas having a battle. No, it's Alpha. It's the Alpha and the Haas. I think it might be Magnussen and Giovinazzi, Kimi and Magnussen. close off. I'm just going to have a look at the quali and just compare them to each other. Gasly, Russell. Again, George Russell qualifying P11 and just he's earlier on in the race he spins out. Schedule Austria, there it is, and that's what the qualifying times, please. I mean, it's a free practice 3 were cancelled, and we could be looking at the free practice 2, but they did eventually go ahead with it. As Stroll now trying to hunt Ricciardo down, did they go ahead with practice? A wet qualifying benefited. Well, it worked well for Hamilton. I'm trying to think. The racing points didn't work well for them. With Sergio Perez sitting in 17th. Stroll did get 13th, but they definitely could have been higher. I'm just trying to think in qualifying as well. Charles qualifying in P14 after a penalty. Vettel P10. Like, it's Ferrari we talk about. Binotto's just talking to Sky. They're giving an interview with him, but it's sad. It's sad to see. There's 18 laps left. Yeah. Maths going to proper work there. Been going for 1 hour 21. So race probably got another 30 minutes left. How much? It's around a minute and 7 a lap, so 18 minutes maybe. Unless, fingers crossed, we get a safety car. My fingers didn't really cross, but yeah, fingers crossed we get a safety car. I was giving seeing F1 notifications and hoping that it's not spoilers. Well, it wouldn't be, but Perez has set the fastest lap. We're getting about now between Stroll and Ricciardo. Ricciardo being put under pressure by Stroll. Stroll not super close, but he's making up time, I think. I mean, we'll look at the racing points. They've actually had a great race. Stroll at 12th, if it stays as it is now, finishing in 7th. Perez qualifying in 17th. 17th, finishing in P5. Great thing. Alex Albon finally getting that P4. Finally, but I mean, sort of getting a result that he should have got last week in terms of points. Verstappen again, getting points that they needed, but as it always is, Merc runs wild. Hamilton sitting in first, Bottas in third. Thirsty boy. Very thirsty indeed. Ooh. Stop eating the grapes. That would help. I mean, it's the problem with doing these F1 streams. It was my worry with the first one, because you do get to a point where it's boring in terms of there's not really anything going on. Like, Stroll's not getting amazingly close to like Ricciardo. When he overtakes him, it'll be great, but he's trying to catch up and he just can't get to an amazing. Oh, actually, we might have a chance here. He's on this. They're going to go to the straight, and Stroll's a little bit behind. Will they have DRS? I think he's a second behind. Bottas team radio. Ooh. Merck saying they will catch Verstappen on the final lap. Like, if that happens, Mercedes are the most intelligent team ever. I mean, Verstappen will be kegging his pants. I mean, it does mean that Bottas has to keep at this pace, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we've got a couple laps, like probably 15 laps left. 16. 15 laps for Bottas to catch up and then get the overtake on Verstappen as well. This is maybe Albon's chance here, because Bottas will be hungry for that second. If he lunges in, spins Verstappen and him out, you'd have to hope they go into the wall, because there is a 33-second gap. No, 33-second gap. Like, it's... I'm trying to do the math. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Perez setting another fastest lap. He set one just a couple of laps before, but he's reset another one. Look at Williams. Gasly now just sat behind him. Gonna try and go for the overtake. Well, sorry, I'm just listening. Kimi seems to be fast and driving out, so I expect an overtake there. And Gasly now will get past Latifi. Will he actually? Latifi? No. Yeah, Gasly gets past Latifi. Russell going to try to build a lead, because it's big if Russell finished ahead of Gasly. As little as it's poor tyre choice from AlphaTauri. you're finishing ahead of someone in a genuine race, like a proper one. Like, not where there's stuff going on or a wet race. Perez hunting down Alex Albon. He will have DRS if he gets him on a straight. Sergio Perez, if he gets a fourth here, probably one of the drivers of his career, just because you start some Bottas. This basically Merc just saying, well done, Valtteri, driving well. You will get an opportunity. There will be opportunities. As I think Perez is stuck behind a Williams. The Williams will concede the place. It is Latifi. It's good for Perez because Albon's going to be stuck behind Gasly and Russell. It'll be interesting now as Gasly gets past Russell. Russell tries to go in, realizes how close he was. We could have a good last couple. Perez is going to challenge. Yeah, he is. Well, he's not 5/10 off. And when there's traffic as well. So he's going to be Russell and then Albon. If Russell, I expect Russell to give the position because he is a fair driver. He's not one to go, well, no, I won't do that. He is a fair driver. So I expect to see him concede the position. And then who have you got in front of that? Pierre Gasly. Gasly will obviously have to do it, but will he give it away so easily? We're on the straights now, and there's no. Albon will go on the inside and he'll give the position. Perez could get stuck here. Yep. So Albon laps Russell, then Perez gets stuck on Russell. Seems like Russell's not giving the spot away, and there he will now. Poor George Russell, I mean. Perez is still catching him, and I think Perez is on the fast tyres. He's got DRS on him. Will he catch him up here? No, he will not. We'll have to wait until a couple more laps. Again, you've got to keep an eye on the lap times for Valtteri Bottas, because Merc are expecting them to go up against Verstappen. Norris and Sainz having a poor performance. Ricciardo sitting in 6th. He was sitting in that 5th area, then Perez got past him, but he isn't really being challenged by Stroll. Stroll's sat behind a bit. He's never got close enough for an overtake. You've got Kvyat sitting in 10th and Gasly in 15th. Poor performance for the AlphaTauris. Well, I think more for Gasly. He did have a tyre issue, so I think they put him on. I think he started on soft, but then they put him on hard. And Gasly was saying, like, no, it's not working, so that he came back in. That's why he was behind the Williams. Positions are given back to Albon and Perez, so we're going to see some proper racing now with no one being held up. We're going to look now. Haas, you know what? You wouldn't be disappointed. Grosjean started 20th. If it stays as it is now, finishing 13th. You can't complain. You've gone up 7 places. Or you've gone up 4, if you're not counting the DNS. I'm trying to drink more water. And it's not pain. Because it's water. But you know what I mean? Who genuinely likes water? By the way, this is what the stream has come to. I will be honest, this is what it's come to. There's nothing happening on track. Perez was catching Albon up. Not anymore. He's just sat behind him, can't do anything. So I'm going to tell you about drinking water. Perez is 0.8, 0.9 on the corner. He'll have DRS. The wings opened up. And doesn't happen. Albon will thing it, and Perez loses his time. Perez has got DRS again. He'll pop it. He'll use it. 11 laps left, nearly. And it's looking like Hamilton's going to win. We may get a late battle for second. Bottas making 0.8 of a second up there. We're just watching Verstappen now. Oh. So there's front wing damage on the front of Verstappen's car. And I don't think that would be a problem because it's flapping so much. That is really going to affect the streamline of it. So, I mean, Lewis Hamilton, qualified P1, had a great qualifying lap. He's stuck in P1. He dropped down to, I think the latest he dropped was P3, and that was just because of pit stops. And so, I think he dropped down to P2 because anyway, Louis, it shows why he's the best racing driver. And as annoying as it to see, you want some new drivers. When you're the best, you're the best. Do you tell Ronaldo to stop doing it because he's the best? No. He'll carry on because he's going to be the man. Um, so Alfa Romeo have told Giovinazzi to let Kimi pass because Kimi was just going a little bit faster. I mean, we're looking at the track. Hamilton now going into turn one as Verstappen. Perhaps just goes past the finish line. Bottas very close to Verstappen. I think the closest battle now is Perez and Albon. They are literally neck and neck. I mean, the McLarens are slowly catching up Stroll and Ricciardo. So we're going to have a battle for 9th and 6th, 5th and 4th, and possibly 3rd and 2nd. It'll be very interesting to see. Albon still has a chance at podium. It still does. Lance Stroll up 5 places. You're showing it. One pit stop, starting P12. He can even get 6 if he can get past Ricciardo. And the McLarens are battling. It'll be Norris teasing on the outside, but doesn't go for it. They're very good mates here, Sainz and Norris. Be interesting to see her. As yeah, there's nothing happening. Perez again, still got the fastest lap, and he's always a second behind Albon. He needs to in these final laps. He just needs to do maybe a 1/10 quicker than him every lap, and he'll eventually catch up. As we're getting a good McLaren battle here at least. Norris, they're going down the long straight up the small hill, up to turn 2. So Norris seems to be quicker than Sainz, but it'll be interesting to see because I don't know. I can't see Norris catching up Stroll. I mean, maybe you do switch him just for Norris is on more points, and they do. Lando, Carlos gives the position to Lando. I mean, Carlos is leaving. He probably doesn't want to create any bad relationships with the team in case Ferrari doesn't work out. Like, he'll probably want to keep it cordial. If he went, no, I'm doing this, then we'll have his Zach. He's a man I really like, Zach Brown. He comes across as a genuine fan and a genuine nice guy, I think. He understands motorsport. And he's not just F1 and Prick, he does IndyCar as well. Yeah, it's nice to see McLaren doing well. We see Perez now, he's so close to Albon. Literally, like, it's going to come down late. 8 laps left. I mean, Danny, you did say Perez is going to challenge Albon. How long that? 3:18 was it now? That was 10 minutes ago. They're still challenging each other. Bottas has just made 2 seconds up. We could see an amazing last lap. I hope it happens in 3, because then that gives 6 laps. Safety car for 3, then a 3-lap safety car restart. Oh, inject it into my veins. Agreed. Brown is great. Just what McLaren. Yeah, someone I think he's invested in youth clearly with Sainz and thing. He got rid of Alonso. Well, didn't get rid of him, but Alonso retired, and Stoffel Van Dom never really. I think he was behind Alonso, and I think he's doing well in Formula One. Government. It's for Merck. I know that. He brought in a youngster who had a great show in F2. He wasn't even the best F2 driver. You had George Russell, who did better, but they must have saw something in Lando. Brought him in. Lando had a decent first season. Carlos had a great McLaren season, something you didn't expect from getting that podium in Brazil. And then this season, Lando sort of outshining Sainz, and I don't know whether that's the thing of, well, Sainz is going to Ferrari, maybe. I doubt it, but maybe he just thinks, well, Lando can have this shine. Maybe I get to contest Lando, and maybe you don't want to contest Ricciardo because of positions and stuff. But and on the other hand, you want Carlos probably expecting to have good Ferrari performance, good McLaren performance. So when he goes to Ferrari, he's not looked down upon. We're seeing the Renault now. Ricciardo been putting pressure. Stroll 0.5 seconds. So we couldn't got Perez 0.8 seconds behind of Albon. 6/10 now. Sorry, we've got Stroll 6/10 behind Ricciardo. We've got Grosjean 4/10 behind Giovinazzi, if that helps. But yeah, Bottas has made a second. 1.6 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas is now. This could be big. We've got 6 laps left. Verstappen has got to drive his ass off. He really does. Let's have a quick drink before it starts. Before Max gets overtaken, maybe. maybe see 2 laps, 3 laps possibly. Verstappen team radio. Couldn't hear that. Drivability out of turn 3 is shocking. I couldn't understand what I was saying. But thank God for the subtitles. 6 laps left. We may see some last lap overtakes. Like we said earlier, this race needed a safety car. And I think even if we get one now, it still makes it nice. As long as it doesn't take too long. As long as we get one right now, and then on the 69th lap, safety car goes. Perez being given driver of the day. Yeah. I mean, starts in 70. Someone's just... It's Lando Norris setting the fastest lap. I mean, he loves the fastest lap. We saw it last week. And he just set another one. And now Valtteri's hunting down Verstappen. Verstappen on radio. Not much left on my rear tyres. And Valtteri, he's so close. I see 2 lap a lap now. We're getting a good battle here for the final end of the race. He's got DRS. He'll go behind. He goes on the outside, sorry. He won't get it. He'll wait. But he's so close behind him. And he's got DRS. He'll go past him. And Bottas gets behind Verstappen. And Mercedes 1-2, but Verstappen's not going to concede the place. He goes on the outside. He goes wide. He still goes. And Verstappen. Bottas goes for it again now on the outside. Oh, he does. Well done to Max Verstappen. If you saw that, it's incredible driving from Verstappen. Bottas uses DRS, gets him on the straight. Verstappen doesn't give up, goes on the outside, gets him, cuts. Hamilton sets fastest lap. Cuts on the inside, blocks him. Bottas has to pull away. Fastest lap yet, Lewis Hamilton, 107.18. Poor Lando. Could have got it twice in a row, but Perez is so close to Albon as well, but we're only going to be showing this battle, unfortunately. But yeah, Bottas is still going to go for him. He's got DRS. Right, he's going to go for it. He goes on the outside. Valtteri. I was very Alan Partridge then. Doesn't get it. He'll have him on the straight though. I'll DRS. Valtteri gets past him again. And he does it. Verstappen now. Bottas covers the outside. Verstappen tees the inside. Bottas gets... Verstappen is a god. He is great in it. I hate that he's so young. Like, when he's 18, when he got his first F1 start, like... It's just sad. It's just sad. He's so good. Oh, he would be an amazing in Merc. I think in a Red Bull, he's not bad. I think Red Bull do have the capabilities. I think... Hold up. Carlos Sainz is pitting for softs. I'm guessing he's going for the fastest lap. As I say, he's got the gap on Kvyat, so he's going to go for the fastest lap. Carlos Sainz, but yeah. I mean, how did Verstappen really... Verstappen lost it because he pitted so early, which means his tyres. We're getting now the Perez-Albon battle. They're nearly a second off. Driver of the day is coming up. Perez was winning it. I mean, 3 laps left. Albon's going to have to defend here, but yeah, Max, I think, just got done for the strategy. He came in first, then Hamilton, then Bottas. Bottas had 8 laps fresher tyre, so eventually he was going to catch up. I think even... Oh, Lance Stroll. Well, Stroll and Ricciardo both lock up. Never mind. It looked like they were both going ahead, and they both locked up. And Stroll just sort of loses control. Lando now will put him under pressure. Also, I expect to see Carlos Sainz getting the fastest lap. He did pit. He's now 20 seconds behind Norris. Verstappen's boxing. So McLaren are trying the first now. Now Max Verstappen is pitting. If they may, you know what? If Max has a poor pit, Red Bull don't really have them. He's in. The tyres are incorrect, and either way, it's a decent pit. About to say, if they have I don't think Max will get fastest lap because of the traffic. And you know what? It might be a poor strategy. So Hamilton sitting in the first lap. So Sainz and Verstappen both on fresh tyres. And now the problem is Verstappen is in traffic and he's got 2 laps to do it. He's got 2 laps to try and get his first lap. So does Carlos Sainz. I think Carlos Sainz is in less traffic than Max. Lance Stroll was close to Ricciardo. Magnussen's overtaken Giovinazzi. Verstappen sitting in third now. Did pit. Bottas in second. Bottas is not going to catch up with Hamilton. So it's a 1-2 Merc, probably guaranteed. Verstappen now will just get past all the cars. But I don't think he's setting the fastest lap because he's in so much traffic that the cars obviously aren't slow. They're not catching up. Nicholas Latifi in 17th and Russell in 16th. Poor from Williams. Not poor, but unfortunately considering Russell had a great qualifying. And then with the penalty starting at P11, Carlos Sainz does set the fastest lap. So he sets a 105.60, 105.6, 19. Remember stereo. But yeah, so Verstappen's stuck in traffic though. I mean, we're getting a 3-way battle now. It's Lando, Lance, and Daniel. So it's Stroll, Norris, and Ricciardo all battling here. So we've got 1 lap left after this. And you know what? We could get a very entertaining last lap. They're just showing. Oh, Perez going. Perez and Albon went into each other. They connect on they touched on the wheels, but Albon didn't spin. Oh, and Perez has got wing damage. I mean, it was the same place that Albon got spun by Hamilton, but Perez goes on the wing, and then his wing comes off. Now, he should be able to. Stroll is now going on Ricciardo. Let's Stroll on the inside of Ricciardo. He forces Ricciardo wide, but so does Ricciardo. They all go right on Lando Norris now. Lando Norris, Lance Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo and Norris. Norris pulls on the outside. Lance Stroll is ahead in P6. Norris in P7. Norris goes on the outside. I'm sorry if I'm talking loud. Don't care. Lance Stroll runs Norris wide. Stroll holds off Norris. Ricciardo loses 2 places in this battle. Carlos Sainz is fastest lap still. So now Lance Stroll now is ahead of Norris and Ricciardo. Norris and Ricciardo will be hunting him down. Perez did go for the overtake on Albon. He didn't get it. His wing went. So Perez should be able to complete the races. A few more corners. So we're on the final lap. It's the final. Wow, the Mercedes are actually finishing. Lewis Hamilton has finished while there's a battle, but I hope Sky Sports go back quickly. Well done to Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, he drove an incredible race from qualifying to race. Strategy was worked well. Well done to Valtteri Bottas. I mean, qualified for. But Lando Norris now on the outside of turn 2. Doesn't get it. He looks up. Lance Stroll covers the place. Daniel Ricciardo don't know where he is. Norris now. It's got DRS. Lance Stroll can't contest. Stroll comes across. He goes on the outside. Stroll can't get there. But this is a great battle here. Daniel Ricciardo just sitting behind, watching his new teammate in a battle. The check flags were Verstappen does get P3. Albon and Perez should finish 4th and 5th. We've got Lando Norris now. Lando Norris in P6. Stroll in 7th and Ricciardo in 8th. We're just looking now and we're coming into the final corner. Perez is losing time here. Lance Stroll has got Sergio. Lando Norris has got Sergio Perez in the final corner. Lance Stroll. Ricciardo now is on the outside. It's wheel to wheel. Perez loses places, but Lance Stroll. It's gonna. Sorry if that was loud. I do apologize. But Lance Stroll is just. Perez, man. Sergio Perez may have just had the most unfortunate race. He drives an incredible race from P. We're just watching Lando's overtake. Has the DRS, just takes him on the outside. Stroll comes across a little bit early, but it's fine. Oh, ribs hurt. But then on the straight, you see Perez is going slow. Lando comes around, easily overtakes him on the last corner. He'll get through in 6th. In 5th, sorry. And poor Sergio Perez, man. Perez, from 17th to 5th, he was battling Albon. When he battled Albon, Perez get front wing damage. And they just shown the photo finish. Perez doesn't have speed, so Stroll and Ricciardo go past him. I don't think Ricciardo gets Perez, but it's a battle between Perez and Stroll. They're not showing it. Oh, the stewards will look. Hamilton obviously winning the race. I mean, we talked about it was going to be a boring race. It was from lap 1. No, it was boring from the start, but we got an incredible final 2 laps. Stroll, Norris, and Ricciardo. I mean, we talked about Ricciardo. We talked about all 3 of them during during the stream talked about Norris obviously last week and how he's could be the biggest thing. All the guys line up. The steward's just going to be looking at the Stroll Ricciardo Perez incident. We talked about Ricciardo's move to McLaren. We talked about Stroll, obviously the money driver, but he's just proved there that he can compete with the big boys and not because of his dad's money. But well done to Lewis Hamilton. He drove an incredible race, finishing P1, qualified P1, finished P1. Fair play to Lewis Hamilton. You're just seeing everyone now getting out the cars. Lewis drove a great race. He's happy. Lando. He looked like he wasn't in this race. I mean, Carlos pitted. You know, imagine if Carlos didn't pit. Like, if Carlos didn't pit then, I think he did get the fastest lap. But they're just weighing Lewis and stuff. Just to see if it's thing. About the Merc thing. Lando, yeah. Sergio Perez, final corner. He goes wide because he's going to hinder Lando also, but he's got no speed at all. The front wing's broken. It was the contact with Albon. He's going so slow. The rest of the group catch up to him. Lando speeds past him, easily gets that. But then when Perez is coming forward, Lance and Ricciardo pull out. We're getting 3 wide on the straight. 3 wide on the straight. And then, what's it called? Perez slows down. Lance comes ahead, but Perez speeds up. I don't think Ricciardo was on the same level, so I think Ricciardo will finish 8th. But for that 7th and 6th, I think even if Perez finishes in 7th, it's incredible. I think he should get driver of the day. Going up 10 places, starting at the back of the grid. I mean, if you're Verstappen, you must feel like you've sort of been let down there by your team. Not allowing, but Valtteri's caught up. Like, Valtteri caught up because of poor strikes from Red Bull. Red Bull pitted early. Max wasn't happy then. Max were having tyre issues. Valtteri just kept on going. He pitted extremely late. You know what? It paid off as Lewis and Valtteri, and Max, all putting the masks on, putting the helmets on. But well done. Martin Brundle's going to do I'm just trying to. Before I end the stream, I just want to get confirmation of Stroll, Perez, and thingy. Martin Brundle's just going to do the interviews. I'll hop on the Twitter and see if they've tweeted about. I'm just looking. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking. So, Racing Point tweeted, no idea if this is accurate. Can anyone confirm? And it's Checo in P6, Lance in P7. But it could be P7, Lance, P7. P7, Perez, P6, Lance. Great drive by the Mercs. Poor Perez, I think. He really wanted that position on Albon. But he didn't get it after contact. Rear wing damage, and he had a lap where he just had to keep him pushing. It just was enough in the end. He loses that 5th place. Fair play to Lando Norris. I think Lando Norris is probably 3rd in the standings now. So fair play to him. Considering him and Carlos were in 8th and 9th. Carlos sets the fastest lap, I'm confident. So ended. But that was the F1 Steering Grand Prix. Or the Steiermark Austrian Grand Prix, whatever you want. Thank you to everyone who watched. I mean, I'll do the quick promotion as always. Tuesday, Wrestling Corner. Me and Sam talk health and wrestling. Wednesday, the Top Corner Football Podcast. On Thursday or Friday, the NFL Corner. You talk anything NFL, tier list, stuff like that. If you want all the updates on when we'll go live, we'll hopefully do next week for the Hungary Grand Prix. I think I'll see if my hip's fine. See if it's not. I know I've been wincing a lot, not talking. But if it's fine, we'll be back for the Hungary Grand Prix. It'll be a completely different one. I think because it's brand new track, the drivers probably wouldn't have been there. It'll be fun. It'll be a different track to Austria. But if you want more updates of when we're going to go live, when the Twitch stuff is live, I mean, Twitch is twitch.tv/Top Corner. Please tune in tonight's final. Josh has put so much effort into this tournament. So please go tune in tonight. Even if you don't care about football, tune in and watch because he's done so much effort. It's the final. I think it's, what is it? Is it Poland? No, Croatia, France in the virtual Euro tournament. But if you want all updates on when we're going to go live, when other podcasts are live, other news from the Top Corner, the Sports Corner, go to @the Top Corner on Twitter. It's the Sports Corner, but @the Top Corner, and you can find us there. Chris Welch, thank you, Danny. Thank you, Chris. See you next race. Hopefully, come back, like, subscribe, and come back for the next race. Pleasure doing stream for you, and peace.